the second thing I would do is that in Kunjaban, if I spot a guy with two different girls, I'm going to do this to that person. I mean, it's not none of my business, but I'll do that. I'm like, hey, what happened to the other Didi? And where is she? This will be the second thing. And the third thing,
People can question, why did you take an example of a guy? You can also take an example of a girl.
वो
So,
स्त्री है, वो कुछ भी कर सकती है. I can't say anything.
hello everyone. Welcome to the second episode of our podcast series, Let's Unwind. In this, wait, have you watched the first episode yet? Thank you if you did and shared your views. And in case you missed it, what are you waiting for? The link is just above. Go click it and see how young leaders are changing the face of education. Back in 2017, we were facing some internal conflicts. Many members left due to clash of opinion. It was tough, but the sheer will of helping an underprivileged with quality education kept us going. At a time when Orissa was not much aware about Right to Education Section 12(1)(c, we struggled yet enrolled 5 children to Future Bhubaneswar School under this law free of cost. 3 years down the line, more than 400 children have been enrolled in multiple private schools of Bhubaneswar free. And just a couple of days back, we featured on the front page of Times of India for enrolling 95 children this year during the pandemic. Thank you for all your support. I somewhere believe that this has something to do with our alma mater, KIIT. Our sister organization, KISS, is a world class institute with more than 30,000 tribal children studying for free. And we are somewhere inspired by Dr. Samanta, our founder and the chief architect of these two institutes. So, let's begin. So today we have three different student societies of KIIT who are bringing a change to discuss on our topic, ambassadors of change starting out young. So I have today Lalit, who is the founder of TPH, a multifaceted organization. It's starting from music, dance to social work. We have Shreya, the vice president of Enactus KIIT and KISS. Enactus is an international organization with the belief of sustainable social change. And Prithvi, the coordinator of QUAB. QUAB is an initiative of Dr. Samanta to help the underprivileged. I welcome you all to this podcast. So Shreya, could you please tell us something about you and your organization?
So, good morning, everyone. My name is Shreya Sen, and I am the Vice President of Strategy and Communication at Enactus KISS KIIT. So, Enactus is a worldwide organization which stands to promote entrepreneurial action for a social cause. At Enactus KISS KIIT, we strive to take forward this same spirit with our projects Siddhi, the paper bag project, and Wipe, the sustainable car washing service, and Generic, the project seeking to reinvent how India perceives medication.
That's really nice. Yeah, Prithvi, could you please explain your organization and something about you?
Sure, Shamik. Greetings, everyone. This is Prithvi Raj, coordinator of QUAB. QUAB, as you know, works on the ideals of Dr. Samanta, our founder, sir. And we basically are working on four main principles. That is He for She, Art of Giving, India Against Negativity, and Maitri. Maitri, as you know, is our flagship project. We go to KISS to teach vocational training to the underprivileged tribal children. And obviously, during this pandemic, it's a challenge, but we believe that we are going to follow these ideals, and Khwab is always going to work for the social upliftment of the society.
That's really nice. So Lalit, can you introduce yourself and TPH in few words?
Hello, guys, and first of all, thank you for having me in this podcast. This is a very nice initiative that Desire has come up with. As everyone knows by now, my name is Lalit Munra. I'm the founder of TPH. As everyone knows, I hope that TPH is a youth-based organization. Currently have more than 500 members and 7 wings, to be precise. And our motto was actually is actually to be the platform where anyone and everyone can showcase their talent.
Thank you, Lalit, for your inspiring words. So
Most
we will start with our first segment now, where we'll ask some questions. You can answer freely, and these questions will be common for all of the societies and all of the panelists. But before I do that, I have a small surprise for you guys. We have a special guest in our show. I want to unveil him currently. Are you ready? Let me introduce him in a couple of words. He is someone who inspires each and everyone at KIIT with his enchanting words. He is someone who's listening to this podcast and thinking, I need to give English lessons to this guy. He is someone whose words are Bible to every final year student at KIIT. He is also someone who runs 3 different schools in Orissa for the lower income group, which has more than 600 children. Any guesses, guys?
Does the name of the person start with K?
Yes. So let's welcome the guest of today's podcast, Dr. Cash Khan. Welcome,
Hi,
sir.
guys.
पर सर मैं आपसे ना हिंदी में बात करना चाहूंगा और आप अगर कहो तो मैं আমি বাংলাতেও কথা বলতে পারি but not in English
বলুন বলুন
because I'm really nervous with
হ্যাঁ
my
ঠিক আছে
English
চলবে
currently.
চলবে আপনার বাংলা শুধু ভরা আছে
ধন্যবাদ ধন্যবাদ. Okay, so sir will be joining our podcast today and we all know how important and valuable sir's views are for every student at KIIT and youth at large. So we don't consider him as a teacher, we will consider him as someone who is part of all of us. So let's start our podcast. So the first question is to Prithvi. If I tell you, you have to mention one particular incident, which is the best incident till now in the 4 years of your college life, what would that be?
There are many incidents, but there was a recent incident or an achievement that I achieved, that was winning Founders Cup. Cash Khan sir presented it to me.
So
Really
your
great.
Founders Cup is something which every speaker in KIT look forward to, and winning that is something really great. So congratulations from my side as well. Okay, Shreya, what is there at KIT which is not present at IIT?
The environment, I feel like KIIT will give you a much more diverse environment. It is not just super smart students, everybody is there, you don't feel alone. Because I joined engineering in information technology without having any prior knowledge of computer science, so I felt very at home. There were people who were there to help me, and I did not feel alone either because there were people who were at the same level as me.
Correct. And I also feel the same, that if I were at some other university, maybe I would have been better in studies. Maybe I would have done something else. But the person I am today, that is because of KIIT.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So let us go to the second segment now, which will be an interesting one. There will be questions where you will put forward your views. The first question of the segment is, let me give you an example, a scenario, and then I'll come to the question. A student who loves debating and is going out across country to participate, and in return he is missing out on classes, but he is bringing medals and laurels to the university. So do you really think that societies affect these studies adversely, and is 75% attendance actually mandatory for every university? I'll start with sir.
Since you have brought up the 75% thing, let me give you another scene. Like, there is a person who is least interested in engineering, and what he does is that he takes an admission in one of the most dynamic universities that provides a lot of opportunities in terms of competitions, organizations, societies, etc. And he bunks all the classes. Okay, and he gets so many laurels and so many achievements there that he gets a fly through the process of the marks and attendance. What was that person doing in an engineering college or in a technical university? He was just paying some money to do the activities. if you wanted to do that, you better join an organization. You will be utilizing your capabilities better than you would do here. And you would have to do a lot of, according to your passion and your direction, you'll be doing a lot of unnecessary things in terms of classes and labs and assignments and exams. Why do that? If you're really interested in those activities, go find another place where your studies are not the focus, for which you are paying the heaviest amount of money. That is not the focus, and then you would be better utilizing your time. I do believe that there should be a very fine balance, but not just between attendance and attention. There also should be your, the motivation that you bring to the college. I mean, if you have zero on this side, on the academic side, you're in the wrong place.
That's actually a very good point, sir. So on the same lines, Prithvi, you won the Founders Cup, right? So now supposedly your percentage is 60% in class, but the rule is 75% minimum attendance. And you are not Prithviraj. Prithviraj is somewhere else. You are the dean of your own department. Would you allow Prithviraj to attend the exams?
See, if I see it in the perspective of Founders Cup, obviously I will, but I have to look at the talent the student possesses as well. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of activities students are doing, but then bunking classes is something which is not, going with the reason why you have joined college at the first place, as sir mentioned. So in my perspective, if I'm the dean, I might allow the student with 60% because of the fact that he or she is involved in a lot of more things and he or she is bringing laurels to the college.
So that brings me to another question. So you all know about the new national education policy, right? So we have a part of multiple entry and exit in that law. So do you really think, Lalit, that this will help students who are not sure about what they want to study when they are in 12th?
I personally feel that this is a very good move by the government. The reason being that people at that age, that precarious age of 20 and 22, so everyone is confused so as to what to do. I myself was confused, and I know a lot of people who are confused even now. So that will give them an opportunity, to introspect and complete 1 year. Might be that they complete 1 year and then they feel that, okay, this is not the place for me. I need to change my environment. I need to change my the line of study or wherever I want to go. They might be wanting to explore their passion and go ahead with that. So I guess this is a very good move where students are given a chance to drop out after first year, second year. I guess they get certificates and they get a diploma certificate if
Yeah.
they complete 2 years, and if they complete entirely, they get a BTech certificate. So I guess this is a very good move. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely true. So on the next question, so we all are aware of JNU and multiple incidents that took place in the pre-COVID era. Like there were JNU incidents, there were student protests and everything. We are living in a country, the largest democracy in the world, but the representation of youth in parliament is really low. And we generally feel proud in telling we are apolitical. So Shreya, do you really think that to change this country in the coming days, youth should be more involved in politics and it should start from at an university level?
Honestly, I feel like it depends from person to person, because youth is a general term. You should always have a younger perspective. That is obviously encouraged. For example, in the United States, they have this very young Congress member. She goes by AOC.
Mhm.
So she brings a very refreshing perspective to their parliament, which we don't necessarily have in ours, which should be encouraged. But also, it should be on the side of caution, so that the person who is going to represent should also be well aware of their opinions and why they choose to do certain things. So it is encouraged, of course.
Okay, right. So, sir, what is your opinion? The less participation of students or youth into our political system, and does that impact the laws that we frame in this country, sir?
We are not looking at the only the legislative process. Like even if you choose the students to be the lawmakers, it's a little bit premature. I mean, students who have not yet completed their LLB, if you want them to form laws, or if
Hmm.
you want them to do that after graduation, those are two different things. Okay,
Hmm.
so there is a minimum age for entry into politics, but people are involved in politics way earlier than that. If they're 21, they're already voting, so there, that is a participation in politics. If they're campus canvassing for someone, if they are doing the whatever you call participation in the campaign phase, if they are doing that, that is also participation. If they're showing the support online, that is participation. But instead of politics, what I want to impress upon is the word democracy. If people start participating in the word democracy, it will sound cleaner, it will not be that controversial, it will be less aggressive and aggravating than if you keep on harping like students go to politics, students go to politics. I mean, if you can, and you do that in class 8 itself, you start teaching them the elements of democracy in civics. You start doing that in terms of a part of a curriculum. So when do they get to exercise? 7 years after that, if they enter the process by uh, doing a democratic setups in multiple channels wherever it is, like you have the monitor system in schools, politics and democracy at the same time. Okay, and in college we do have enshrined in the constitution, supported by the government, we do have college elections in graduation level. So that is happening, and if it is already going on, all you should do is to ensure the quality remains high, it remains free from the defects or the involvement of nuisance elements from the society or from the system, and let them develop a clean conscience and go forward with that.
Absolutely true. When you're talking about KIIT and and like at a university level, one thing that I wanted to highlight or we should discuss upon, I feel, is that equality. So there's a lot of discussion going on equality these days. When we talk about equality, that in bus there should not be any reservation for women. In many states, there are many cities, there are reservation for women seats. So that should not be there. There were many people who are vocal about these points as well. So let me throw another question to you all, that many universities have different timings or curfew timings. So Shreya, do you think that it should be equal and same?
Yes. So on one side, I think it is very fair for an institution to have curfews, because when we come to college, enjoying this, new phenomenon of freedom, parents don't know when we are going coming, so it's free and we feel liberated kind of. But KIT recognizes this, and they recognize that we are still children when we come to college. And at this point of time, the need is still there to be taught how the real world functions and be disciplined accordingly. They, in a way, take the place of our parents, which I think is perfectly all right. It is correct. What I do not agree with is the different timings that have been set for the different genders. If girls have an in time which is 7 o'clock, then I believe boys should also have the same, and vice versa.
Absolutely correct. So my question on those same lines to Prithvi. Prithvi, supposedly you are the hostel warden of QC, and you have to let girls be out post 7 or 7:30, and you are responsible for their safety and security. Would you allow girls to go out post 7:30?
See, as a hostel warden, I'll be a lot progressive, to be honest. So as a warden, obviously, I'll be okay with everything. Rather, I would be vocal about changing these timings,
Okay.
having them.
You know, I feel that about the discrepancy and the issues that you're talking about, those things might have been solved if it was a single campus, like no outsider can enter the campus. But KIT is such a huge university and there's free flow of everyone in between the campuses. College cannot be responsible for everything that happens outside its area. My next question will be to Lalit. Lalit, as we all are engineers, but there's one thing that we lack discipline as well. And while I talk about discipline, one of the major factors in India with engineers or any kind of young students is addiction. So what is your opinion as someone who has graduated from KIT or any university working at some corporate? Does it impact someone's health and mental condition?
Uh, I definitely think it actually definitely impacts physical as well as mental health. Uh, because I have seen people indulging themselves into addiction, and as you already mentioned that they flaunt because students are immature, so and they get into that bandwagon effect कि मेरा दोस्त कर रहा है so I will also do, and it looks cool if I have a cigarette in my hand, a Marlboro का cigarette है इतना हाई फाई cigarette है cool लगता है. So that is because people are immature, they need to be taught. So obviously that should be addressed upon more and not on media as it is going on now, but actually there should be a fruitful discussion about this. We need to make people aware, and we need to make them realize that.
Okay, so sir, in a cigarette packet, 90% of it is showing that you will have cancer. What do you think? What are the mental conditions or the things that are going on in my mind while buying and knowing that I'll have cancer?
The nicotine hit, the thing that makes you feel like liberated and flying on skies beyond vision, that thing pulls you. Like everything is distressing around you. The people are not friendly. The marks are not up to the mark. The family is not supportive and supportive. The food is okay, average, and relations are scattering away. And I need a high. Where do I get that high? I can't get it from the competitions because there are better people than me. I can't get it from the market because I don't have the money. I have a 20 rupee bill in my pocket. I can go and get that Marlboro. I don't know if it costs that much or much more than that. But if I take it and I smoke it, I get the hit, I get high. So that high feeling pushes you for the first time. It is the friend circle. Lalit is correct. Like you saw, you got it, cool, etc. Second, third time onwards, and when the addiction has already grasped you, it is the high that you get. And why stop at cigarettes? And why I'm talking generally. I don't think your podcast will be limited to KIIT people. It will be watched like from across the domains, or from all the contacts of your viewers. They will recommend it, and you'll get to know that there are further more addictions than just a sutta. I mean, there is a higher smokes, higher smokes, and then there are other materials, substances. There is another form of addiction, and that costs not just money, it costs time, and that is Netflix, Prime, and a lot of movies. And of course, one somewhat financially good thing, but mostly time consuming, is your world of game. And that addiction is crazy, bro. That's like super crazy. You get into it and your fingers, your index fingers become thumbs. The thickness increases to that way. So we are primarily looking at addiction across platforms, like all sorts of forms of matter: gas, liquid, solid, and virtual. And the youth, the most vulnerable part of the life, also the most productive and the most important one, where you're supposed to grasp your certificate, skills, and experience and network, that is lost to these things. Okay, yeah, you do network while counter striking or PUBG. Now you can't, but so I don't know. I mean, there are solutions are really rare, because once you start telling them, bhai sutta, shut up, don't tell me anything, I know what I'm doing. So that is a kind of self-righteousness and higher ground that people adopt. They are not ready to listen to anyone. It's like my way or the highway. So yes, it is bad, and our hands are tied. We can't say much and we can't do much.
Sadly, that's the reality. That leads to the next segment. This segment talks about change. And we all are part of this podcast because we are doing change in somehow or the other. So on those lines, Lalit, do you think the brand KIIT helped you bring the social change better?
Oh yes, it definitely did. The reason being, we have people from myriad of diasporas and various cultures, various states, and the kind of environment we have, the platform that we get in KIT, the activity center, the competitions that we have. Like we have competitions every second week, you could say. So we all have an opportunity every time to explore and be into new terrains. And honestly speaking, if I weren't in KIIT and some other college, I don't think it would have been possible to start with TPH.
That's absolutely true, Lalit. That KIIT helps in building anything you want. And so, my next question to Prithvi on this segment is: in this COVID 19 scenario, everyone is online. How do you engage people in social work?
I mean, to be honest, it was tough for us as well. We were really like disheartened after this all this happened, and being part of such a special project called Maitri, where you go to KISS and teach those tribal children. Obviously, not getting to meet them was heartbreaking for us, and a lot of our projects, even Art of Giving, it was like in a way we couldn't do anything about it. But right now, we also believe that being virtual now, we have new challenges and we have to come up with that. We have to find out new ways of doing social work.
So, yeah, I guess in your project Maitri, you are really doing a great job. So, Shreya, let me ask you, what is Project Generic?
So basically, Project Generic started as an idea in 2017, which inclines to assist the poor by providing affordable and quality medication to all by spreading awareness about generic medicines and how it is just as effective as its branded counterparts. So, despite the financial conditions prevalent right now, proper medication is and healthcare is a necessity for everyone. To increase the accessibility and the healthcare services and to the difficult to reach sections of society and spread awareness to reduce the misconceptions regarding generic medicines, Enactus has come up with this particular project.
Great. So enactors always have been pioneering brilliant, new, unique ideas, and I'm really proud that you all are thinking at such a young age about these things. So my next question to Lalit: so you dance, so you are good in quizzing, you are good in managing things, you are doing social work. What else do you do, and why do you actually started an organization when you could have been part of Chronicle, Kalakar, and all the other societies itself?
See, when I watched the movie, The Bucket List, I don't know if if you guys have watched. There's a sentence which Jack Nicholson says that every positive thing that God made interests me. So I also live by that philosophy. That I want to get into different terrains and explore everything possible. And college life is the best. College is the best platform to explore.
Mm, just one small question: which wing do you like the most?
We have 7 wings actually, but to like wing the most, I wouldn't. But
Your
see, I
favorite
am a
one?
dancer. I am a dancer. I'm more into dancing more than writing lyrics or playing any instrument. So there is a soft corner, you could say, because I am a dancer for the Protean Hooper, and also the reason that it is the first group that I started with.
Nice. So there is a soft corner, as you mentioned. So I don't know. Your other team members might feel bad. So be aware of it.
No, there's no
You
bad.
made
I
him say
love
that.
everyone
You made him
equally.
say that.
No, I did not say anything. So the next question is to Sir. Sir, as you know that in 2020, a year where everything is going wrong. I can, if I can portray it like that. For some, definitely it is going good, but for a majority. So for the batch of 2020, not only KIIT, any college student across the world will be facing difficulties. What will be a message to this entire batch?
If I were to give one word suggestion to this, it would be sort, SORT. But it's not about
Okay,
sorting your priorities or sorting your life or job or studies, etc. I still have further classification in which S stands for survive, and that applies to 2020. O is, of course, because I need to make you feel more convinced in my word. R is for revive, and that goes for 2021. So survive, of course, revive, and then for 2022 you will thrive. So that is the time when you are going to get back to your senses and your full capabilities, full potential. It's like recovering from an accident right now. You are in an accident right now. You will recover next year, and then you will be back to your full potential, maybe beyond that also, because you get a lot of time to introspect and develop your skills in next year. So 2022, wait for it. It's going to be fantastic.
Great. I guess every student of this batch will be enlightened and will be motivated with your sorting techniques. Okay.
Mostly CS guys.
So the question, so as you mentioned, computer science, mostly engineering. One serious question. So, do you think that engineering or education at large is going difficult for the middle class society of India?
Um, if it is difficult, it is because of the middle class itself. They made it difficult for themselves. Like with host of other options, with host of other jobs, innumerable opportunities everywhere else. Someone made CS, someone made the IT sector, someone made the whole concept of engineering glamorous to them. And they got fooled by it, they got convinced by it. We are a society which gets convinced by a WhatsApp forward. If there is a WhatsApp forward saying that tonight there will be two moons, you check out, people will actually go out and check it out. They will come back later on, I mean, blaming it, but they will go and check what it is. So in that same fervor and inspiration, people make their children do engineering to check out if it works out for them. But in the process, they push their kids into something that the kids never wanted to be. In fact, they were programmed to be the opposite of it. Okay, and as you have said, CS is one of the most happening branches everywhere. That and the whole concept of engineering. Why just CS? CS is the one that gets the maximum opportunity owing to market conditions. The market is always vacant for a lot of IT sector jobs. But the whole concept of engineering should be taken as a springboard somewhere from where people can, bounce out to their areas of interest and make sure that those 4 years while you are trying to bounce up, you are getting enough kinetic energy. I don't know what you should be using there, some potential energy, so that it helps you during the flight that you take from your launch pad. So if
Yeah.
it is difficult for the middle class, then they should in fact look at the multiple other options. Because of the new education policy, they will get innumerable options. They need to trust themselves. When I say the society is suffering from stage 3 cancer, it has a number of reasons. One of them being aspiring for the wrong skies. You don't have to reach the same sky as others. Like if you reach sky high in India, and someone can also reach sky high in Africa, both will be high, but both won't be visible to each other. Don't try to be visible to everyone. So if some parents are listening, which I doubt, and maybe some students will get their parents to come, listen to what these guys are saying, then I'll tell to the parents that your child, your kid is absolutely made for something different. While this thing started and we were waiting for Lalit, I got a call from a lady who was speaking on behalf of her son, saying that my son applied for Infosys, but somehow the application process has been screwed up and he is not getting to sit for the test. I worried at that moment, why is that child not calling me? Why is that person himself not calling me? Why is the parent getting involved in a placement process? So that told me and made me acutely aware of the whole situation, that parents, middle class parents, because we are the choice of most middle class and upper middle class, and that this should be the direction that if their child has a certain bit of talent, should be taken. And that needs to change. That needs to change. But who will change it? Which authoritative voice, which kind of inspiring messiah, who is going to bring about the change? That waits to be seen. None is in sight so far.
Absolutely amazing, sir. I guess these words will revolve around the social media, because these are very, very important words. So on that note, let me ask you the last question of this segment. So, sir, if you were the security guard of near the mechanical food court, what would you change?
First of all, I love the Bhainas for some certain reason. Okay, these are the guys who get the least attention. They are the ones who are giving everyone attention, saluting you and minding people, etc. No one talks to them or asks them what's going on. Okay, so these guys are really good. Some of them are ex-servicemen. Some of them are home guards and from the forces. People think that someone becomes a security guard just because they didn't get any other job. It's such a respectable job that I, in fact, don't pass by a security guard whom I know, and I try to know most of them, and I try to wish them and greet them. So imagining myself in the place of the mechanical food court security guard, I would like to do three things. First of all, if I find someone frequenting that place lot more than required, okay, especially the swimming pool area or the Kunjabani area or the food court area, I'll just ask for his, just call him, and security guards don't speak much or don't say much. I'll just say, hey, hope you are doing well, and I don't want to get into your financials, but compared to the amount you have spent in this food court, how much have you earned so far? This would be one of the things that I'll do. And the second thing I would do is that in Kunjaban, if I spot a guy with two different girls, I'm going to do this to that person. I mean, it's not none of my business, but I'll do that. I'm like, hey, what happened to the other Didi? And where is she? This will be the second thing. And the
People
third thing,
people can question, why did you take an example of a guy? You can also take an example of a girl.
वो
So
स्त्री है, वो कुछ भी कर सकती है. I can't say anything.
okay, so continue. Sorry.
Third thing that I would do is that from the auditorium, usually a lot of dejected people come out with their heads hanging and their folder just limply hanging from their hands. So for some of these people, and if they, accept it, because security guards are not accepted, they are third or fourth categories employees. So if they can accept it, I'll just put a hand on the shoulder and say that, come on, it's okay. You are not a security guard. You still have a brilliant future in front of you. These would be the three things.
Absolutely amazing, sir. Thank you for that. Okay, so with this, we almost have come to the end of our podcast. What we have next is something very exciting, a rapid fire round. So, Prithvi, are you ready?
Yes, Shyam.
Okay. Among the food courts, which one is your favorite one?
Mechanical for sure.
Oh, any special reasons? We can talk it offline, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's go to Lalit.
Okay, before we start, do we have a hamper at the end?
We might have to courier it, don't worry. Okay, so if we reach a 1 million views, you all are getting a hamper, okay?
Really. As per our desire.
Yeah. Okay, Lalit. Google Mart or Atmaram?
Atmaram.
KSAC or OAT2?
KSAC.
And the last one is, if you have to go back to your college life and find one cute spot in the huge campus, what would that be and why?
Cute spot.
Cute spot, cute spot.
See, I would say the Juice Point Juice Hub place.
Okay, Shreya. So what comes to your mind when I say the word KIIT?
Opportunity.
Okay, so finally, sir, are you ready?
Never.
Okay. So the question is, what are the 3 steps to hunt for happiness?
The first thing obviously is to stop sulking. Second thing is to bring a smile on your lips. And third is that spread that smile to others. S. Stop sulking, sport a smile, and spread the smile.
Nice. Okay, so the last question, what is the that one thing which you liked about this podcast?
I got to meet like multiple years at the same time. 2015, 16, or you can call it, and they are here. So it's like a kind of a confluence of multiple batches. So I even see the best part are the ones who are silent. Akansha, Ashmita, Raju's, Siddharth, Deepak, by the end. These people, I know that there is a support group for us. There is someone standing with us. So this podcast being a very concerted team effort, that is the best part.
Of course, this podcast and this initiative is all because of that team. They have worked day and night, like day and yeah. The team needs a huge round of appreciation. Okay, so thank you all. I really thank you all. I had a great time. Hope you liked it too.
You've reached the end of episode number 2 of the Let's Unwind series. What was your favorite part of the episode? Let us know in the comment section below. We're eager to hear from you. Also, if you found this really entertaining, please share it with all your friends. Like this video, subscribe to Desire Foundation, and hit the bell icon so that you're notified every single time we post something new. A huge shout out to my amazing support team that's working tirelessly in the back end. We have the video editing done by Deepak. We have Asmita, Bedahi, Shomik, Shayan, Siddharth, Raju helping me conceptualize this entire idea for the podcast series. Can't wait to meet you in the next episode. Also, please check out the description box for all the relevant links of our social media platforms and our donation links, and show us some love. Can't wait to meet you next time. Bye.